Hello, my friends. You know, I experienced something negative last night on the channel that I wanted to say something about. um, yeah, I'm not gonna name this channel the name because I don't think the guy who runs it really deserves to be, hanged out in public. But there are some things that I just can't get over. They're simple as that. All right. So the problem, what this is about, it is a fragrance channel, and it is actually only for these guys who have like serious knowledge. They all like have tons of different fragrances, like hundreds, and I am not that type simply, I'm not so into fragrances, I'm not, I do love them, but I'm not crazy about them, to put it that way. So, you mean, when I say I'm crazy about them, I mean, I'm not that kind of guy who goes around always searching for new stuff, and, frenetically trying to get as many as possible that are like niche and vintage and all that. So these guys are that type, they always want to gotta have something either vintage designer or niche. Even though the guy who runs the channel isn't a type of snob, as I call vintage snob or anything. He does like more modern also fragrances. But the problem is, right, what happened? I went there first time this weekend on the how you say it, at the behest of a friend of mine who I met on another fragrance channel or fragrance related channel, right? Um, and he was really raving about this guy. He's so great. He knows everything. So I went there, and sure enough, he looked like a nice guy and all that. Very like very welcoming and all that. But what I noticed pretty quickly there is he's like I mean, he's one of these guys who are like, no, that's not good. This is good, and there's no debate. Like, I don't. It doesn't matter what I say or anybody else. He will never change his opinion on something. And even worse, that he hasn't actually tried all these. I mean, fragrances. I know he's particularly down on Parfums de Marly, and I have spoken highly of some of their anyway sorry products in the past, even though I know, yeah, they have their shortcomings as a house. They have their controversies. I didn't know that before, but allegedly they have kind of copied some certain older and very famous beloved fragrances. But I feel like if you are going to really ditch a house, then you should know them very well, before you do it. Not It's based on certain things you have tried. Like this guy tried three of their fragrances. He owns two, and he's like, yeah, he's like, no, they're old. Yeah, I only like two. The rest is crap. So, because he has gotten an idea in his mind because he knows a lot about fragrances, yeah, but he has gotten a presumption that all the rest of them are no good because he doesn't like the house because the way he make everything sweeter than it should. And all right, you don't like he doesn't like sweet fragrances. I respect that. I like him. I like sweet fragrances. All right, I don't like those who are sickeningly sweet. But I want my fragrance to have some sort of a nice, kind of scent. I don't like those weird kind of, resinous or oily or whatever smoky scents that are just, maybe some of them can be good enough, but I usually don't go for that kind of stuff. I like floral barbershop, fougere, all that stuff. Fruity also sometimes, not always, but anyway, he was going on also saying how this stuff is juvenile. Fragrance, if it smells sweet, then it's kind of got a juvenile quality, and I also got kind of offended by that. And but even worse is what the others there, in the chat said. They were really bashing. I mean, they were bashing my taste as well, bashing this house and making fun of me for liking that house. Like, hell, you don't come here and say you like that house. You just can't do that. And it's kind of, I think, become kind of quite endemic, and you know of how these things go, how these things work on many channels. Unfortunately, today, I mean, many channels who are based on such stuff like fragrances, they are like, if you can have an open discussion on a channel that's not strictly, like for experts, for really serious niche kind of lovers, you can have open debates and stuff, and nobody will bash you for liking whatever you like. But on these really kind of serious kind of channels, only for experts, it's like, you just cannot say whatever. You cannot like something and get away with it. Something they don't like, they don't approve of, and that's, I'm like, all right, fine. Then I can be here on your channel. Simple as that. I will not let you influence my taste, alright? You cannot just call somebody's taste crap, alright? That's actually should not be allowed. That nobody should have to stand for that kind of, behavior and saying like, yeah, we will teach you about fragrances. We will, teach you to love the right stuff and to hate the wrong stuff. And I mean, I have a nose of my own. Yeah, you cannot change my nose, God, people. I mean, you cannot have it like transplant your own nose here, into mine. It doesn't work, right? I mean, I do kind of respect the knowledge. I always am willing to learn new stuff, definitely, but I am not willing to say this stuff like being very submissive and saying, "Oh, you were right. I was wrong all this time, and this I should have never liked this stuff." And thank you for molding me into a better, more educated fragrance, connoisseur or whatever you call it. I'm not gonna say it, right? I know my knowledge is not, on the same level, but as those guys, but at the same time, I don't want to have like 500 bottles around. I mean, I don't want to. I'm not that much into fragrance, right? So that's why I think it's positive that you have channels who are, like open, like they are not like you have to have the vast knowledge, or otherwise you don't belong there. You will be, ridiculed, and so. I don't think that's a good way to go. It's a pity. As I said, this guy who runs the channel is a otherwise, a nice guy. I mean, a pleasant guy. But some of his ideas, he has a very, very clear view. It's all right. I respect when you have a really clear, you know, clear, how do you call it? Well, a clear view of what you like, what you don't like, and yeah, you know about this house making clones of another houses. But that's how it works today, all right? If I like something, and it just happens so to be the clone of that older fragrance, does it mean that I should not like it? After all, just because it's a clone, all right? If you insist, I can get the other one, which is the original. But yeah, I don't like this kind of attitude I've come across. This is not the first time, but this channel is just seems to be made of 99% of these guys who are like, we hate the clones, we hate the this and that house, we hate sweet fragrances, and you are wrong if you disagree. We are only ones who can be right. So no, this is just this really pissed me off, man. It pissed me off. It made me upset. There was no reason for that. I mean, it was totally uncalled for. I mean, you can swallow certain things. It's all right. I mean, if you are a host, you are not supposed to say, no, no, you cannot like that. I mean, you're not right in liking that one. It's better to say like, yeah, all right, you like it, I don't like it, but fine, we all have different tastes. So, where I come from originally, we have a saying, you don't discuss tastes, all right? That's something that's not right to discuss. It's kind of big-headed, it's disrespectful, and it's a very like snobbish thing, very snobbish. Trying to convince someone that no, your taste is no good, mine is better, and you should listen to me. You should get the same taste, acquire the same taste as I have. That's just baloney, man. I mean, as I said, I can respect you knowing more than me about certain fragrances, and I mean knowing more. But just also, this is important. I want to say this. I want to underline this. Just because you know of more different fragrances than I do doesn't mean your taste is better or that you are actually, you know, because of that can't tell what's good or not better than I can, right? So yeah, I like to think that I have a pretty good taste, and but even if not, if you don't feel that way, it's your opinion. All right, I can respect that, but when you use that kind of to take me down, to undermine my own opinions and tastes, that's then, brother, we're gonna have a problem. We're not gonna see eye to eye. Simple as that, and that's really it's a sad thing because otherwise we could have gotten along, but now after this, I don't think so because these guys aren't gonna change their opinion. They're always gonna bash things like that. And yeah, I didn't like some of those jokes, even though the host was kind of making them in a light-hearted way. They still felt somewhat offensive to me, insulting. And he was like, in a year from now, you're gonna say, remember when I said I liked Percival? Yeah, I was so wrong back then, and I'm gonna laugh at that. We all gonna have a good laugh. And no, man, I don't think that will ever happen. No, no, I will always like Percival. And because, as I said, I'm a fan of Fougere, so how can you not like it? I mean, I've heard so much crap about that, for instance, fragrance. And that comes from either people like Jeremy who have no fucking clue. They're just this is guy just a fucking clown, or from snobs. Alright, and now I'm starting to get angry, so it's best I finish this video. So I hate snobs. I will always hate snobs. Just let me like what I want. I let you like what you want. Everybody happy, right?